Hi, good morning, good afternoon, whenever you watch this. Good day. I hope that you had good holidays, whether you celebrate or not. I hope that you had some time off and that you took good care of yourself, that maybe you saw some friends, some family, and that you ate good food. And it's now 2023, so Happy New Year. For 2023, I wish you good health. I wish you a lot of creativity and some self-care, as always. I took a week off because life happened and I couldn't film, I couldn't publish anything for that week, so sorry about that. I thought that this week I could just do a short and sweet video. I think it's something that you'll like. What happened is I had to go back in my family because of a life event that happened, and yeah, so I was quite busy for the week. But I also brought my sketchbooks, so during the afternoons or the evening where I had some downtime, I was able to create some art in my sketchbooks, and I created quite a lot of art for my standards in 1 week. So I thought that for this week's video I could just show you what I created, explain what I did, and then next week we'll try to resume our normal schedule. I'd like you, if you can, to let me know what kinds of videos you would like me to film, because 2023 is a new year and I'm always listening to your advice and comments, so please let me know what you want to see. And also I would encourage you right now to drink a little bit of water. For me, I'm going to go give blood later this afternoon. I always have to drink a lot of water before because my blood pressure does weird stuff. Whenever I want to give blood, you need to have a blood pressure that's high enough to have the blood come out. Well, mine tanks, but it never does. I always have a good blood pressure, except for when I need to give blood. And I'm not even stressed out about it. It's just my body knows, oh, you need to have a good blood pressure. Well, I'm going to show you that we can lower it. So I'm going to drink lots of water. Pretty good. And my body does the opposite too. When I go to the doctors and they take your blood pressure, then mine goes up. And I'm like, no, I don't have high blood pressure. I have a machine at home. I can take my blood pressure. It's always good. But when I need to go to the doctors, it goes up. So it does the contrary of what I wanted to do. I guess it's my anxious self that is revealing itself a little bit here, but I'm not that stressed. I don't know. So let's drink some water today and every day, but especially today. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is that we're gonna switch to the top view and I'm going to show you what I created in these past few days. Also, I wanna tell you that we're this close to being monetized. I know right now you're seeing ads on my videos, probably. I don't make a cent out of those ads, but soon. You need to have 4,000 hours of watch time in a year. So now we are at 3,010, around 3,010 hours. So we have about 80 to 90 hours left. So let's watch all my videos, put them in the background, help me out or not. But I'm very excited. I think it's gonna happen this year. We're gonna be monetized. I will make a couple of cents out of these videos. I'm gonna stop rambling right now and let's have a look at what I created in this past week. I brought these 4 sketchbooks with me because I really wasn't sure of what I wanted to do. So these are the 4 sketchbooks that I started sometimes in August. You can see the video right there where I explain what the purpose for each of these sketchbooks is. But this is my abstract sketchbook. I didn't do anything in this one, so I'm just gonna put it away. In fact, I forgot that I brought it because at one point during the week, I thought that it would have been nice to have it because I had an idea for an abstract painting. But I thought I didn't have this one, so I did it in this one instead, which is fine, but I realized that I had brought it in fact. Anyway, okay, so let's start with the big one, and then I'm gonna zoom you in. You might remember this painting. This is a painting that I created quite a long time ago, so I did not do this one this week. The goal of this sketchbook was to practice being looser, and I thought that this painting isn't loose enough. it's really not loose at all, I would say. So I wasn't satisfied with it. I think there's too much details. It's like, you know, when you take a picture and you boost the contrast and you sharpen it, for me, it makes me nauseated. I don't like to see that. So I feel like I see this effect in this painting, and I really don't like it. There's areas of this painting that I really like, but I knew for a long time that I wanted to start it over and practice being looser and looser. So this is not a painting I did. This is a painting that I created. This is the first painting I created in this sketchbook. So I did this one. I just tried to recreate loosely this first painting right here. So I can kind of went like back and forth just to know where everything was. And I recreated it, and you can see that it's much looser than this one. It's a lot more simple too. So like the first one, there's areas that I like for this painting and there's areas that I don't. The first area that I really like is this here. I'm gonna lift this up. I don't know if you can see, but there's a lot of transparency in this area. It's like a grater, cheese grater or whatever. So I kind of did just a really thin layer so you can see the color underneath. It wasn't like planned before, but it's what happened, and I just left it like that. I didn't put another coat on top. I used some acrylics for this one. Same thing as this one. This one was made using acrylics. I think it was quite good brand. I don't really remember the brand for this one, but for this one it was like cheap acrylics. I can show you. I featured these acrylics in one of my art hauls. I can try to find it and put it here, but I never tried these after that. So this is the first time that I use these, and yeah, they're quite cheap, quite transparent, but as you can see, they work just fine. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. But then let me skip to another sketchbook right now, and then we're gonna talk about this painting right here. Then I still wasn't satisfied enough. I wanted it to be even looser. So I tried to do it in a more sketchier way. And I did this one here. So you can see this one is a lot more sketchier. I tried to really show the textures. You can see some pencils right here. A lot of pencil marks, in fact, everywhere. And you can see the little lady here. She keeps changing. So yeah, these are the 3 renditions of this one painting that I created. And even now, I am not completely satisfied. So I think this is like a problem I'm trying to solve. One day maybe I will. But I like exploring. I like redoing the same painting in different styles. I feel like it allows me to have kind of a do-over. And also, it's a good practice for my brain, I find, to do the same thing, but just focus on a different style. I think you should try it really, because it's a really good exercise. Okay, so let's continue with the big sketchbook, and then we're gonna go to the other sketchbooks. Then I did this painting. You can see it's a much different style. And it's based on a picture that I saw on Facebook. One of my aunts, she often posts pictures of her walks. She posted a picture of this landscape, and I don't know, something about it inspired me. I liked the colors, and I liked all the textures that we could find in this image, so I decided to paint it, and it took, half an hour? It was a really quick one, and I had a lot of fun. You can see all the little details here. It's not usually a kind of landscape that I'm creating. Usually there's a lot more greens in my landscapes, but I don't know, I like my earth tones, and this was the perfect picture to recreate. This is the abstract painting that I was trying to do. It's also based on a picture. What I wanted to do was to take a landscape and reduce it to its most basic shapes focus on values and not overthink it. I don't know, just follow my intuition. It's like, I really admire artists that are able to do this. They take a landscape and they render it in an abstract way, but you know that it's a landscape. I don't know, it's really hard to explain for me right now. I feel like I don't have the words to explain it. But yeah, I wanted to be able to simplify an image. I find that the simpler paintings are often the most difficult to create. Like creating this one was way more difficult than creating this one. This one is straightforward. You just paint what you see. But this one, you have to transform what you see, train your brain to make abstractions of some stuff. You have to train your brain to unsee stuff and to see stuff that is not really there, like some colors. And so it's like, it's a bigger brain exercise doing this one than doing a complicated one like this. I know it doesn't look like it when you don't paint, but it's an exercise that I find very useful. And I know I want to create more of these. I don't know if this one is finished. Probably not. Maybe I'm going to add some details, some like pencil marks and whatnot. But it was a lot of fun. And this is the one I wanted to create in my abstract sketchbook. But I'm glad that I did it on this one because the big pages allowed me to be really expressive with my movements. So it's always fun. So that's it for the big sketchbook. Let's go to the medium size. And I'm gonna zoom you in now. Okay. This is the first page I want to show you. This is a page where I swatched some new art supplies that I got. I want to film an art haul in the next few weeks where I'm going to talk about these art supplies and more. But just to let you know right now, since it's here, I got these. The Derwent watercolor pencil set. There's 24 pencils in there. It's really crazy how I did a 180 on this subject. If you watched my art tier, which is a video that I posted before Christmas in November, I'm gonna link it here. I talked about a bunch of art supplies that I liked or disliked, and I ranked them according to different tiers. And I had a couple of watercolor pencils from the Derwent brand, and I really was so about them. I did not like them too much, and I just didn't understand them. And I think the problem was that I wanted them to be watercolors, but these are not watercolors, so it's normal that they don't act exactly as watercolors. I was disappointed that they left marks like this. We can still see a little bit of the marks, even if I put water on top of the pencil, like here. And so I didn't understand. But then somebody commented that she has a couple of different brands and they all do that. And sometimes it's what you want. And then something clicked and I was like, yes. Sometimes the marks that are left can add to the painting or the drawing you're doing. So I stopped seeing the marks as something negative. I just saw it as an additional tool that I could use in my paintings and drawings. And then I decided I needed more colors because I think I had like 4 or 5 and I really wanted to have like a more complete range. So I just bought this set here and I swatched all of the colors. I also did this little drawing / painting based on a picture that I took during this week that I spent at my dad's place. So this is my dad and my sister walking on the path back to the house with the big trees and the snow. And it took not that long at all to create, and it was a lot of fun. So when you see some pencil marks in the next paintings and also in the big sketchbook, I use these a lot. So this is where that texture comes from. It's from these. Then I have to put like a glassine paper or something here because this page is transferring to that page. I recently saw some pictures that my parents took when they took a trip to Sweden many years ago. I think I was like 5 years old or something. And I took some pictures of the pictures because I wanted to recreate some of them in paintings or drawings. And I did. For these two, this is the same one as you can see, but in different styles. So I used different materials. For this one, I used Neocolor IIs. And I started with doing like a blob of color, and then I drew the shapes on top. And I also used some watercolor and a little bit of the pencils that I just showed you. And for these ones, I only use the pencils. I only use 2 colors, the like turquoise and the red. I really like this one. I like the mix of the colors, but this one was a good exercise too. Then you already saw this one. And then I did this one. I took a flower bouquet that they had at my father's place and I just recreated it, changed some things around for sure, modified some stuff, but it was inspired by that flower bouquet that they had. What I did is something that I really like to do in my sketchbooks is when I have some paint left over in my palette, I already talked about it, like this, instead of throwing it out, just washing the plate and losing that paint, I will just do some random splotches on a page. I have one here, like this page here. This is something that I did here too. And then later I'm gonna paint something on top and you can see some of this color peek through, like here. You can see a little bit of the like yellowish green. You can see some movement too. So that's what I did here. I had some browns, some blues, and some yellows. So I kind of just did a background and later I painted this flower bouquet on top. This is also something that really didn't take that long. I think I was waiting for another painting to dry, so I just painted this one in the meantime. But it was so much fun. And then I skipped the page. I painted this. This is also something that is based on a picture that I took at my dad's place. He has this little pond in his backyard, and I always wanted to paint this pond, but I found that from the ground, I didn't have a good enough angle. Like the pond always looked like tiny, it looked flatter, but I took a picture from the upstairs bathroom where you could see the pond from up top, and I changed some things around. I added this little picnic table. I think in real life it's much bigger compared to the pond. The pond is not that big compared to the table, but I don't know, I just drew it super small. And I used my watercolor pencils mostly. I used a little bit of Neocolor IIs as well, but that's it. And I really liked all the color blocks. This part that is all green, this part that is blue, this red tree, and then the purple lavender snow. So I really like this painting. It's a style that I want to do more. And also, during the holidays is the first time that I painted winter landscapes. The first winter landscape I ever painted was this one. I painted it around Christmas time. And it was always intimidating to me because how do you paint snow was my question. Because snow is white, but it's not really white. When you look at snow, it's oftentimes blue, sometimes it's brown, sometimes it depends on the lighting and what is surrounding the snow. So it's never really white. So I thought it would be a nice exercise. You can see that this snow is like a mix of white and purple. So it's kind of a lavender. There's a lot of blues and purple and the shaded areas of the snow. And I think that the result is quite good. So that's why here I painted the snow this lavender color. And I think that it's snow. I think it's pretty clear. And then I redid this one in a different style. Well, I painted the two at the same time. So while I was waiting for an area to dry, I painted the other and then I moved between the two. I think even at some point I had 3 paintings going at the same time. So I used this small sketchbook. This sketchbook is for travel painting. So it's kind of a memory sketchbook. So this is from the time that I went camping. So I wrote where that was. Same thing here. I always write where the picture, because sometimes I base it on a picture. This one was a plein air painting though, but these ones are based on pictures. So it's nice because it kind of reminds me of travels that I took. And this one is the painting, is the same. based on the same picture and a way different style, as you can see. So I used some watercolors for this one and my pencils. So let me know if there's one style you prefer. I know that when I show my paintings to my family, like I'm really stimulated by this style, the more sketchier style. It's a bit more childish, I would say, maybe. It's a bit more abstract, and my family is always like, oh, I like this style better. But for me, this shows more growth in my style than this. I don't know if you get it. Like if you're painting too, maybe you get what I'm saying. And if you do, please let me know, because I don't want to be alone in this. But for me, being able to take a picture, paint this quite literally, like I added some stuff and you can see that there's like abstract elements kind of that I just left there, like this splotch here, and like the fact that the water is not like, it's not staying in the pond, is, you know, but this one is a lot more literal than this one. And being able to go from a literal picture, paint something that is quite realistic, and then go to something a bit more abstract, for me it shows that I have grown and my style is evolving. I'm going somewhere. I don't know where yet exactly, but I'm going somewhere. I'm doing something. So for me, this is way more exciting. And this is something I want to explore. But for my family or for people who are not painters, I think that they prefer this. And the same thing. Oh, and we're done, by the way. Okay, we don't have anything else. But I just wanted to talk about this one again. So I've shown these 3 paintings to some members of my family. And for me, like my favorite, I would say, is this one with some elements of this one. A couple of people have told me that it's this one that they prefer. I think that this one is more conventional. It's something they already know. And then these ones are different. This one, I would agree, looks unfinished. And this one is more like childish drawing maybe. But for me, this is an improvement. This is my style changing. Anyway, okay, I'm gonna leave you to this. Please let me know what you think of all that we discussed. Let me know what's your favorite and what you think I should explore after this. I'm always super happy when you leave me comments, and I read all of them and I take notes, for real. You've helped me out so much when I have questions, or even when I don't, you tell me like, oh, you should do this instead and do that, or this is right or this is wrong. I appreciate all of it. So that's it. Thank you for watching my video. I will see you again, I hope next week, if not the one after. In the meantime, take care. I'll see you soon. Bye.